Stop the car, Nathan Claveria said firmly. The driver glanced at him, puzzled. Sir? I said stop the car. Pull over. Nathan's deep voice cut through the sound of heavy rain. He had just spotted 3 young children huddled under banana leaves by the roadside. The surroundings were dark, and the rain poured mercilessly. With a furrowed brow, Nathan stepped out of the vehicle, and his driver, Mr. Walden, hurried after him with an umbrella. Sir, where are you going? Give me the umbrella and go back to the car, Walden. But sir, Nathan ignored him. His attention was fully on the children. He approached them, his eyes narrowing. Why are you out in the rain? A small boy smiled up at him eagerly. Good day, sir. Are you here to buy something? Nathan looked around. There were vegetables spread out on the muddy ground, soaking wet. What are you selling? We have different kinds of vegetables, sir. Please pick anything you want. Another boy replied, shivering. Nathan's jaw tightened when he noticed the little girl. She was pale and trembling. I'll buy all of it. Come with me. Get in my car. The little girl hesitated. Our grandma told us not to go with strangers. Nathan blinked. She couldn't be older than 5. He looked at all 3 children again. They looked so alike. Triplets, probably. Where are your parents? Why are they letting you sell in a place like this? There are no houses around. It's dangerous here. We live far from town, so we chose this road to sell. Some cars pass by, and we try to flag them down, explained the boy, who seemed to be the eldest. Nathan frowned. Where's your mom and dad? Shouldn't they be the ones working? The children exchanged glances and shook their heads. We don't have parents, sir. Just our grandma. The rain came down harder, accompanied by thunder and lightning. The kids flinched. I'm not a bad person. I'm a doctor, and I'm heading to town for a medical mission. Come with me. You're freezing out here. Will you also give rice, sir? Asked the second boy, this one with blonde hair, unlike the others. Yes, we're distributing relief goods too. Let's go with him, big bro. Then we can bring rice home, the girl whispered. The kids talked it over for a moment, then finally nodded. Is it okay if we get in your car, sir? We're dirty and soaking wet, said Zion, the oldest boy. It's okay, get in, Nathan replied warmly. Their faces lit up as they clambered into the car. Nathan's heart ached for them. He clenched his fists in quiet fury at their irresponsible parents. Here, dry yourselves off with these towels, he said, handing them over. What are your names? I'm Zion, the eldest, said the boy. I'm Dr. Nathan Claveria, the man introduced himself with a smile. Wow, you're a doctor. I want to be a doctor too, the little girl beamed. I'm Zeke, the second. We protect Zia, our little sister, the blonde-haired boy said with pride. Nathan felt a tug on his heart. The children were clearly malnourished, thin and weak. Walden, if you see a store selling clothes, pull over, he ordered his driver. Back in Washington, D.C., Nathan still couldn't stop thinking about the 3 children. Their identical faces lingered in his mind. Something inside him whispered, adopt them. You're home early, son. His mother, Evelyn, greeted him with a smile and a hug. Why do you look so happy, Ma? Because I have someone I want you to meet, she said excitedly, brushing past him. Who is it, Ma? I already have a wife, Nathan muttered, frowning. That woman you paid to marry you? That doesn't count. Why haven't you divorced her yet? Evelyn snapped. Nathan didn't answer. He simply followed her into the living room, where, as expected, she tried again to introduce him to another woman. But Nathan's eyes drifted to a wedding photo on the mantel. His sister Angela smirked. Whatever happened to that amazing wife of yours? You should just throw that wedding picture away. Nathan turned toward her and said quietly, "I'll find her one day." Angela rolled her eyes. "Forget that woman. She brought nothing to this family except shame." "It's been 5 years. You still call her that?" Nathan said, defending her. "She's not like that." "Your wife, please. She never deserved to be a Claveria, especially not with where she came from." Nathan sighed deeply and ran a finger across the frame of the wedding photo. It had been 5 years since Zenaida left. No calls, no letters, nothing. But still, a part of him wished they'd meet again. Meanwhile, Nurse Zena, busy at Apex Medical Clinic, handed a newborn baby to a beaming mother. "Congratulations, Mom." "Thank you, Nurse. I'm so happy," the woman said tearfully. Zena's heart clenched as 2 baby boys, twins, were wheeled in. A tear slipped down her cheek. She was suddenly reminded of her own triplets, her babies taken from her long ago. "Zena, did you get the letter?" asked one of the other nurses. "Huh? What letter?" "You haven't heard? The hospital sent out a notice. We're joining a medical mission in Savannah. Some of us are on the list." "Oh, that's great," Zena said with a faint smile. "Right, I'm excited. We'll be working and relaxing. Savannah's beautiful." "I'll check with the office," Zena replied, tapping her colleague on the shoulder. Zena had been a nurse at Apex for almost a year now. It was one of the top private hospitals in the country. Upon arriving in Savannah, they were welcomed by fresh air and breathtaking views. The team was given a day to rest before traveling to a remote area to provide free medical care and medicine. "This place is amazing," one of the nurses exclaimed. "I know, right?" Zena murmured, her eyes scanning the landscape. It reminded her of someone who loved places like this. They were in a remote district now, doing checkups and treatments when... "Dr. Claveria, thank you for accepting Apex's invitation," another doctor called out. "I should be the one thanking you," Nathan replied. "It's a privilege to be part of this mission." "It's an honor to have the country's most renowned neurosurgeon here," said the director of Apex with a smile. Nathan chuckled. "Come on, don't flatter me." "It's true," the director laughed. "Just last week, I was on a medical mission in a neighboring town. I'm glad I got to return to such a beautiful place." They chatted for a few minutes before Nathan spotted the triplets. The kids waved excitedly, and Nathan's face broke into a smile. "Excuse me," he said to the doctor, and hurried over. "Doc Nathan, you came back," Zia squealed, throwing her arms around him. Surprised, Nathan hugged her back. His heart felt light. The 2 boys followed and hugged him too, their presence quickening his pulse. "What are you doing here? Don't tell me you're selling again?" "Yes, Doc. We're selling rice cakes today. Grandma made them. Want to buy some?" Zeke offered. "You can try one for free, handsome Doc." Zia giggled, showing her gapped teeth. "Stop teasing, Zia," Nathan laughed. "Okay, how much?" $5 each, said Zion eagerly, bagging the rice cakes. Nathan handed him a crisp $50 bill, eyes wide. "Doc, we don't have change for that." "Keep it," Nathan said, waving his hand. The 3 kids gasped. "You're not just handsome, you're kind too." Zia grinned and gave her brother a high five. "You're making me blush, Zia," Nathan chuckled, ruffling her hair. "Did you walk all the way here?" "We were supposed to arrive this morning, but Grandma had an asthma attack, so we had to take her home," Zion explained. Nathan's heart ached. "I wish your grandma were here so we could check on her." "We saved up for her checkup in town," Zeke said proudly. Nathan was silent. The triplets were too young for this life. They should be playing, not worrying about money and illness. "All right, I'll come back for you later. Don't go home yet." "Okay, Doc," the kids chorused. The medical mission organized by Apex drew a large crowd. Apart from the Apex doctors, The hospital had also invited several other physicians from prominent institutions around the country. A few even came from abroad, so Nurse Zena didn't recognize everyone. "Let's go grab a snack," Marie said, nudging Zena. As they walked to a vendor nearby, they spotted the three kids shouting by their table of rice cakes. Zena, naturally curious, and with a known fondness for rice cakes, approached them. "Pretty nurse, rice cake for just $1, the blonde-haired boy called out. Zena smiled slightly. "You're good at selling." "Of course we are. We can cook too," the little girl chimed in proudly. "How old are you?" Zena asked, fascinated by how similar the children looked. "We're 5, they replied. Zena fell silent. She stared into the girl's eyes. Something about them felt familiar, deeply familiar, eyes she might have seen before, though she couldn't place it. "You have beautiful eyes, sweetheart," she murmured. "Really? Grandma says we got them from our mum," Zia replied brightly. Zena said nothing more. She bought a rice cake and walked away, her thoughts drifting painfully to her long-lost triplets. If they were still alive, they would be just about this age. "Hey, you've been watching those kids like a hawk," Marie said, teasingly. "They're just so cute, and smart too. Selling at that age," Zena replied. "Well, not every kid in this country has an easy life. Some have to hustle early on." "True," Zena agreed. She herself had grown up without parents and had done all kinds of odd jobs to survive. Just as they were about to keep talking, their attention was pulled to the front of the crowd, where Apex Medical Center's director, Gustavo Cerron, began to speak. "Good day, everyone. I'd like to introduce one of the most brilliant neurosurgeons in the country," Gustavo announced. A round of applause broke out immediately. Zena's heart skipped a beat. The moment the word neurosurgeon was spoken, her pulse raced. Nathan Claveria. The world seemed to freeze. Her hands turned cold, and her eyes locked onto the man standing on the makeshift stage. "Oh my God, he's gorgeous," one nurse whispered. "I know, right?" "He's stunning," another replied. "I want to faint just looking at him," another teased. "Is it just me, or does he have it all?" muttered RJ, the male nurse standing beside Zena. Zena's heart fluttered and sank. After 5 years, this was the first time she'd seen him again. He hadn't changed. If anything, he looked even more handsome. "Does he have a girlfriend now?" someone whispered. None of her colleagues knew she was married to him. If they did, she'd never hear the end of it. "You and Dr. Claveria would make a perfect couple," RJ said. Zena shot him a warning look and quickly stepped behind a colleague to hide. "Don't you dare let him see me," she whispered. "Girl, he's hot. Maybe he'll fall for me," one nurse joked. Zena forced a laugh, but her heart pounded inside her chest. "You know, if you let him approach you, maybe you won't be single forever," Marie teased. "That's not an option," Zena replied firmly. "I'm introducing you to him later," RJ grinned. "No way," Zena said quickly, trying to stay out of sight, but she noticed Nathan's eyes sweeping in their direction. She ducked lower. "Don't you dare let him near me," she warned. "Crazy girl, he's smoking hot. What if he likes me?" Marie whispered, winking. "Please," Zena muttered, trying to suppress her nerves. "Why not go for it? He could be the one," another nurse offered. "I said no," Zena insisted. She didn't want to deal with her feelings. Not today. Later that afternoon, Zena and Marie returned to the booth where the triplets were still selling rice cakes. "Nurse Pretty," Zia called cheerfully. "Can we ask you something?" Zena smiled. "Sure, what is it?" "How much does it cost to get a checkup at your hospital? Is it really expensive?" The question took Zena aback. She recognized them immediately, and a strange warmth filled her heart. Maybe it was because they reminded her of the children she had lost. Who's getting the checkup? Our grandma. She's sick. We heard the doctors at Apex are really good, so we thought maybe she'll get better there. We have 20,000 saved up. Is that enough? Zion asked, scratching his head. Before Zena could answer, her gaze shifted. Nathan was walking toward them. She quickly ducked again behind the triplets. Thankfully, he didn't see her. They blocked his view. Zion, there you are. I've been looking for you, Nathan said. Doc Nathan, Zeke shouted excitedly. Zena ducked lower, her heart pounding. We sold out, Doc, Zion said proudly. Really? That's great, Nathan beamed. Do you know Doc Nathan, nurse? Zeke asked innocently. Zena wanted to disappear into the ground. Looks like you have a nurse friend from Apex, Nathan said, noticing Zena's uniform at last. Zena froze. How would she escape this man she'd avoided for 5 years? Nurse, why are you hiding? Zia asked. This is our friend. We call him Doc Nathan. He's so handsome, like you're pretty. What's your name, nurse? Nathan asked, stepping forward and gently touching her arm so he could see her face. Zenaida, he said softly. Nathan's eyes widened in shock when he saw her face clearly. Kids, I need to head back to my table. I'll talk to you later, okay? Zena said, stroking their heads affectionately. She turned her back and walked away without another word, leaving Nathan speechless. Zenaida, he whispered, watching her go. Do you know Nurse Zena? Zion asked. She's really pretty, right? You two look good together. She was once mine, Nathan murmured. Huh? The triplets chorused. Nothing, Nathan said quickly. Go eat your snacks. But his mind was spinning, still lost in the memory of Zena's face. Let's eat together, kids. I brought food, Nathan said, inviting the children. Nurse Zena, come eat with us too, Zia exclaimed, tugging at Zena's arm and pulling her toward the table where Nathan sat. Zena didn't want to make a scene in front of the kids. She allowed herself to be led and sat beside Nathan quietly. You can sit here, Nathan said seriously. No thanks, I'll sit next to Zion, Zena replied quickly. Oh no, Nurse Zena sits beside Doc. I'll sit next to Zia since I'm feeding her, Zion declared. With no choice, Zena sat beside her husband. Wow, this food smells amazing, Zia said excitedly, her eyes sparkling. I cooked that, Nathan said with a grin, dishing food onto each of their plates. Zena didn't know what came over her, but tears began to fall from her eyes. Thankfully, the children were too busy eating to notice, and she wiped them away quickly. Nurse Zena, can I get more? Zeke asked. Doc's adobo is really delicious. It really is, Zena muttered, watching them. We haven't eaten since last night, Zion explained between bites. Zena's heart ached even more. The kids were clearly malnourished. Here, take the rest. I'm full anyway, she said, pushing her plate toward them. No, Nurse Zena, what about you? Zion asked, concerned. It's fine. Eat it. I'm good, Zena replied. The 3 days in Savannah passed quickly. As they prepared to leave, Zena's heart grew heavy. She felt like she was leaving something behind, something precious. If she could, she would have brought the triplets back to D.C. with her. Doctor, Claveria's back, a nurse shouted as they returned to Apex Medical Center. Zena raised an eyebrow, overhearing her colleagues gossiping in the hallway. Zena, what's with that smile? A nurse teased. Nothing. I heard the hot doctor is working here now, another said excitedly. What? Yup, Dr. Claveria said last night he's taking a position here. Zena's heart sank. You've got to be kidding me, she muttered. Why here? Why this hospital? Doesn't he own another hospital? She asked herself. Later that day, while in the hospital cafeteria, Zena tried to avoid him as much as possible. She kept her focus elsewhere, determined not to make eye contact. You're not even going to say hi? Nathan said, catching her off guard. For what? She snapped. Can you at least join me for a few minutes, just to eat? He asked. Why? So I can babysit you. If that's what you want, he replied. Over my dead body, Zena muttered as she stormed away. It was nearly impossible to concentrate. Wherever she turned, Nathan seemed to appear. She couldn't handle it anymore. Please, can you not show up in front of me today? She hissed. What? I'm seeing a patient here. Am I not allowed? I just can't stand seeing you around. People were starting to stare. Patients, doctors, nurses. Dr. Saron asked for my help. Who am I to say no? Nathan said with a shrug. Great, take a seat and cool off, Marie said, handing Zena a cold drink. My head's pounding today, Marie. It's him. I swear, I saw you two bickering earlier. In fairness, you looked like a married couple who didn't get along, Marie said with a laugh. Don't say that, Marie. I'm not in the mood. But he's a genius, Zena. I looked him up. He's the best neurosurgeon in the country. And so what? He's still annoying. Careful, girl. You know what they say. The more you hate, the more you love, Marie teased. Don't start, Zena said, rolling her eyes and sipping her milk tea. Later that night, it was already past 10, and there were no more public transports available. Another off-shift night alone, Zena muttered. Suddenly, Nathan appeared and approached her. I'm just trying to be nice here. I don't need you to be. Your soul is already dark, she snapped. I'll drive you home, or I'll tell everyone you're my wife, he threatened. Zena stomped toward his car and slammed the door so hard the alarm went off. One day, Nurse Zena, help us! Zena rushed out of the hospital, heart pounding. The triplets were there. Nurse, please help Zeke, Zia cried, grabbing Zena's hand. Zena gasped when she saw the boy collapsed in the street, bloodied and unconscious. Without hesitation, she carried him inside. Zeke! She cried as she ran into the emergency room. Nathan saw her rushing in with the bleeding boy. What happened? He asked urgently. He was hit by a car, Zion sobbed. Stay outside. We'll do everything we can, Nathan assured them, pushing through the ER doors. Prepare the OR now, he shouted. Zena stood frozen as she watched them disappear behind the swinging doors. Her chest tightened with fear. I'm scared, nurse. I don't want Zeke to die, Zia whimpered, holding her tight. Doc Nathan is amazing. He'll save him, Zena said, hugging both children tightly. They waited for hours outside, barely moving. Eventually, Nathan came out, and one look at his face told Zena everything she needed to know. Zeke is okay. He's stable now, Nathan said with a soft smile. Thank you, Doc Nathan. Nurse Zena. I didn't know what to do, Zion said, with a trembling voice. It's going to be okay. What are you doing in D.C. anyway? Nathan asked. Our aunt kicked us out, Zion replied, head bowed. What? Zena exclaimed. Grandma's gone. She passed away, he murmured. Zena and Nathan looked at the children. Their clothes were dirty. They hadn't had a proper rest in days. Come to my office. We'll talk there, Nathan said. After getting them washed up and fed, he asked, What happened? After Grandma died, our aunt tried to take the money we saved for her checkup. When we refused, she threw us out, Zion explained, his voice shaky. Nathan clenched his fists. How did you get here? We took a bus. Zeke said to find you. People helped us along the way, but we didn't know there were so many cars. That's why Zeke got hit, Zion said, near tears. Why would your aunt abandon you? You're just kids, Zena whispered, furious. She said we weren't really Grandma's grandkids, Zia sniffled. Exhausted, the twins fell asleep in Nathan's office. Zena stepped out for a bit. She was still on duty. Nathan stayed behind, watching over the children. Doc? Yes? Where's Nurse Pretty? She's working. Go to sleep now, she'll be back, Nathan said softly, brushing Zia's hair. Zia gazed up at him for a moment. Nathan noticed something about her eyes, something familiar. You have beautiful eyes, he said. Thanks. She smiled and hugged his arm. Zina entered the office quietly. She didn't want to disturb them, but she needed to check in. Zina, Nathan said, standing. I'll come back later, she said, turning to leave. Wait. She paused, trying not to sound harsh. Why? Can we talk? What's there to talk about? You didn't even say a word when you dropped me off last time. I want a proper conversation, Nathan said, stepping forward. Zina let out a bitter laugh and walked into the office. What more is there to talk about, Nathan? You left me, Zina, without a word, and now you act like I wronged you. That was 5 years ago. Just forget everything, she said coldly, avoiding his gaze. How can I? I'm still your husband. Only on paper, she snapped. Then she left him standing there. Zina walked into her apartment and let the tears fall. She'd been trying to forget for so long, but seeing him again, it made everything resurface. I made you some food. Please eat before you leave, Zina said with a faint smile as she handed a plate to her mother-in-law. The older woman raised an eyebrow in disdain. What kind of food is that? You're feeding my son eggs and sardines? My Nathan loves beef steak, she snapped. Zina forced a smile. This is Nathan's favorite, he told me. That's because he had no choice. You're the reason he's eating like a beggar, Evelyn snarled. Zina lowered her head. I'll eat it then. You should. It suits your kind, street girls like you, the older woman scoffed. Zina stood from the table as Nathan entered. Before she could reach the bedroom, she heard her husband's mother and sister talking. I want Nathan to marry one of Mr. Anderson's daughters, not someone like her. Zina froze, tears welling up in her eyes. Zen, can you help me with my things? Angela asked as she handed over a bag. Zina smiled gently, though her heart was breaking. They're imported. Don't mess them up. They cost more than your life, Angela sneered. Later, Zina looked at herself in the mirror. She wasn't the same woman from 5 years ago. She had her own job now. She could stand on her own. But the words from Nathan's family still pierced like knives. Nurse Pretty, we've been looking for you, Zia's sweet voice called as she ran toward her. Are you okay? Why are you here? I want to ask Jesus for something, the girl said with innocent eyes. Zina followed her into the church, looking for guidance as her world grew increasingly complicated. What do you want to ask for? Zina asked. For Zeke to get better so we can play again. And so Zion won't be sad anymore because he blames himself for what happened. I also want to meet our real mom and dad. Zina's heart clenched. She assumed Zia was talking to her, but the child had her eyes closed in prayer. Zina stared at her, not noticing that tears were falling from her eyes again. Why are you crying? Zia asked gently. Nothing. I just remembered my children. You have kids? Where are they? They're in heaven now. They're angels with Jesus. Oh, you had triplets too? Zina nodded. Just like you three, same age. Do you miss them? Every single day, Zina whispered. Well, you can pretend we're your kids. Since our mom and dad aren't around, maybe you can be our mom for now. Zina's tears flowed freely as she pulled Zia into a tight hug. When you miss them, just hug us instead, the little girl said sweetly. You can be our mom. How could their real parents abandon them? Zina thought. Whoever they were, they didn't know how lucky they were. Wow, your house is so pretty, Zia squealed, dragging Zion and Zeke through the doorway. This is your house? Nathan asked, stunned. What, surprised I could afford one? Zena shot back sarcastically. Nathan's face shifted, stung by the jab. It's been 5 years, Nathan. I picked myself up. I built this life, she said, and walked inside. Come in, she added coolly. It's huge, Zion said, impressed. Doc Nathan's house is even bigger. It's a mansion, Zena replied. Nathan glanced around. It was beautiful. He felt a sting of regret. This was the life they once dreamed of, just not together anymore. Doc, Nurse Pretty looks just like the woman in that painting. Zeke pointed at a large canvas in the hallway. She is that woman, Nathan said quietly. Do you have a crush on her? Zia asked. Shh, Nathan shushed, blushing. Zena was in the kitchen, preparing dinner. Nathan couldn't stop looking at her. Thunder roared, rain pounded the roof. How will you get home in this storm? Zia asked, worried. I'll wait until the rain stops, Nathan replied. You should stay the night, Zia said. Why? Because it's raining and there's lightning. It's not safe to drive, she said, maturely. It's okay, kids. I'll wait it out, Nathan assured them. Zena glanced over. She clearly wasn't thrilled about the idea. It's fine, she said quietly. She didn't want to disappoint the kids. She prepared the guest room, her heart racing with unease. Later, Zion and Zia came to her. Nurse Pretty? Yes? Sorry if Zia made a request you didn't like, Zion said. Why would I be upset? Well, she said Doc Nathan should sleep here, with us. That's fine. The children were thrilled. They cuddled up beside Zena in her bed. I wish Zeke were here too, Zia murmured. He will be. Once he's well, he'll live here with us, Zena replied. Nurse Pretty? Yes, sweetheart. Can you sing us a lullaby, like moms do on TV? Zena smiled. You didn't know I used to be a singer? She began to sing softly, her voice soothing them into sleep. The house grew quiet. The storm outside had died down. Nathan lay awake in another room, restless. I wish you were really our mum, Nurse Pretty, Zia had said. I wish that too, Zena had whispered. Nathan found himself standing outside her room, listening. After a moment, he slowly opened the door and saw them sleeping peacefully. You three, you make me feel whole, he whispered. I'm sorry, Zena. I still love you, Nathan murmured, kissing each child gently on the cheek. The next morning, Zena descended the stairs and stopped in her tracks. Nathan was standing in the kitchen with Zion, both of them wearing aprons, stirring something in a pot. They looked like father and son, bonding in a way that tugged at her chest. Mum! Zion called out loudly. Zena felt something brush against her heart. That word again. Mum! Good morning, Nathan greeted her, his deep voice calm and cheerful. Zion and Zia rushed over and kissed Zena on the head. I'm sorry, Nathan said gently. It's okay, she replied, forcing a small smile. Mom, Dad, and I cooked breakfast, Zion announced. Dad? Zena asked, stunned. Yes, Zion nodded eagerly. Zia said we can just start calling him Dad, and he said it's okay. Zena said nothing. Who was she to take that from them? She knew how hard life was without parents. Come sit, Mom. I'll call Zia, Zion said, pulling out a chair for her like a little gentleman. No, it's okay. I'll go get her, Zena replied, smiling slightly. She watched Nathan and Zion from behind, quietly observing their easy rapport. She wondered, if only their own children had lived, would mornings like this have been normal? Let me carry your bag, Nathan offered. No need, Doc. I got it, Zion said. Zion, give it to your dad. He can manage, Zena said. You two are adorable, a nurse whispered teasingly as they walked into Apex. Zena rolled her eyes. Elise, your mouth. I saw you both arrive together, with the kids. People are going to start talking. Elise grinned. You're impossible. You looked like a real family this morning, Elise said, actually blushing. A few weeks later, Zeke was finally discharged from the hospital. Zena was overwhelmed with joy, just having all 3 kids around her again. "Mum, you're so beautiful," Zia exclaimed, jumping with joy. "Don't flatter me." "It's true, our mum is the prettiest," Zeke chimed in. Zena rolled her eyes at Nathan, who was peeking in from the hallway. He had been visiting more often these days. "You're both shameless flatterers." "We're not lying, it's true," Zia insisted, and hugged Zena tightly. "Let's go, we're going to be late," Nathan said. Zena and Nathan got in the car together. They were on their way to Apex's anniversary celebration. Without warning, Nathan reached over, took Zena's hand, and kissed it. "What are you doing?" she asked, pulling her hand away. "You look beautiful," he said softly. "I already know that, but thanks." Zena. "Don't start with me, Nathan. I swear I'll get out of this car." Nathan had been trying for weeks to talk about their relationship, to fix what was broken, but Zena wasn't ready. The chapter she had closed years ago was threatening to reopen. "Zena, Nathan," Dr. Ceron greeted them as they stepped out of the car. "Happy anniversary," Nathan said, handing him a wrapped gift. "It's from both of us." "I didn't know you two were back together," Ceron teased. "We're not," Nathan replied. "I'm still working on it." "I'm happy for you. Make it right this time," Ceron said, patting Nathan on the arm. "I didn't even know my wife was working at your hospital. I've been looking for her for years." "I didn't know she was your wife," Ceron replied. "She said she was single." Nathan sighed. "She was hiding from me." "You drove her away," Ceron said. "No wonder she left." "I just don't understand what went wrong," Nathan admitted. "Women don't leave for no reason, Nathan. Something must have hurt her deeply." Night fell, and the alcohol began to flow. Zena was clearly tipsy. "Let's go home," Nathan said. "Don't touch me. I'm pissed just looking at your face," Zena snapped. Nathan ignored her words and helped her into the car. "Put me down, you jerk," she shouted. "Whether you like it or not, we're going home," Nathan growled, pushing the door closed. The car alarm beeped from the impact. "You're so childish," Zena fumed. "You're the childish one. You're always impossible." Their bickering continued through the drive. "If I could drive right now, I'd leave you," Zena muttered. "Zenaida," Nathan said in exasperation. "Don't call me that." "I said I'm sorry. Please just tell me what I did wrong. I'll take the blame." "Don't," she snapped. "Let's just go to sleep. I'm tired." But Nathan had reached his limit. He grabbed her gently but firmly and kissed her. "If you won't speak, then let me. I miss you. I miss you so much. I still love you," he whispered. Zena stood frozen. "I love you too," she finally said, her voice barely a whisper. Zena had always been weak for Nathan, and that night she let her guard down. They made love again. The next morning, Zena woke up in Nathan's arms. "Good morning, babe," Nathan said, beaming. "Why am I here? What happened?" "We made love again." Nathan grinned and kissed her forehead. "We were drunk." "So what?" Zena groaned and punched him lightly in the stomach. "You're impossible." "You admitted last night that you still love me," Nathan teased. "I did not." "You totally did." "Fine, I still love you, Doctor. Nathan Claveria. Happy now." Nathan smiled. "Very." Zena knew this might not be the best decision, but at that moment she didn't care. Life was short, and sometimes second chances were worth the risk. "Babe, hurry up! The kids are going to be late," Zena called from upstairs. "Coming," Nathan responded as he grabbed his bag. "Come on, Mom," Zion said, holding Zia's hand as they descended the stairs together. "Zeke, honey, are you okay?" Zena asked, adjusting the wheelchair he was now using after the accident. Yes, Mom. All of them piled into the car. Seatbelts, everyone. Study hard. Don't leave school grounds. I'll pick you up later, Nathan instructed them. Yes, Dad. I promise I'll be a great doctor just like you. Zia beamed. Wow, no one wants to be a nurse like your mom. That's not fair, Zena teased. Oh, okay. I want to be a nurse too, so I can keep an eye on Doc, in case someone tries to flirt with him. Zeke chimed in with a cheeky grin. Good job, Zeke, Nathan said. You've got to protect our princess. Hey, I'm big now. I can have a boyfriend. Zia pouted. No way. You can start dating when you're 60, Zion said sternly. That's too old, Zia protested. You're still a baby. You can date after college, Zena replied. Okay, Mom, but I'll only tell you when I get a boyfriend. The boys will get mad if they find out, Zia whispered with a smile. Zena laughed and hugged her daughter. Anyone who wants to court Zia will have to pass through a needle's eye first. Or just one bullet, Zion added, pretending to be a soldier, fingers shaped like a gun. You three are scary. No one will want to date her because of you, Zena joked. That's the point, Nathan said proudly from the driver's seat. Ugh, you too? Zena rolled her eyes. They were all laughing and chatting as they arrived at the school. Here's your lunch. Don't forget to eat it all or your dad will be mad. He prepared it himself, Zena reminded them. Yes, Mom, the kids said in unison. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad. I love you, Zeke called out, waving as Zion pushed his wheelchair. I love you too, Zena and Nathan replied together. Zena watched the kids go, her heart full. She thanked God each day for the chance to be a mother to the triplets. Babe, your packed lunch is in my office, okay? Thanks. Love you, Zena said. Love you too. And the scrubs you sent to the laundry are also in my locker. I'll drop them off. No need, Doc. You already have so much to do. It's okay. I'll do anything for my wife, Nathan replied sweetly, making some of the nurses giggle as he winked. Lucky you, Marie, one of Zena's colleagues, teased. I wish I had a husband like that. Seriously, Zen, your hair must be 10 feet long from all the luck, Elise added. Now that everyone at Apex knew Zena and Nathan were married, the questions never stopped. Sorry, ladies, there's only one Nathan Claveria in this world, and I got him, Zena replied proudly. What made Nathan different wasn't just his brilliance, it was how he treated the triplets, with so much love and care that Zena found herself falling for him all over again. We surrender, you win, Marie teased. Ugh, I wish I could say, Sana all, another nurse added. But just when things were finally happy again, life had other plans. Mum, someone's at the door, Zeke called from the living room later that day. Zena had just finished tending to him. Since the accident, he couldn't walk and stayed home while the twins went to school. Hold on, Zena said, heading for the door. She opened it and immediately gripped her chest. Standing there, in full makeup and a tight suit, was Evelyn Claveria, Nathan's mother. Hi, dear, she said with a fake smile, pushing past Zena like she owned the place. What are you doing here? Zena asked coldly. I heard you're living with my son now, Evelyn said with a smirk. What's it to you? He's my husband. Evelyn's gaze swept over the house and landed on Zeke, who was sitting in the living room. Oh? You have a child? Don't tell me you tricked my son into raising someone else's kid. How did you find my house? Please, I have connections everywhere. Zena bit the inside of her cheek. Rage was boiling inside her. What do you want? Let me be direct. Send Nathan back home. Zena's lips curled into a smirk. He's old enough to decide where he wants to be. Evelyn's expression hardened. She grabbed Zena's arm roughly. Let go of me, Zena warned through clenched teeth. You're still the same low-class woman. You'll never be good enough for my son. And that child, he's crippled. Why should my son waste his life on you?" Zena was shaking with fury, but she held back. Zeke was watching. "If you weren't in my house right now, I would have knocked you down," she said in a calm, trembling voice. Evelyn scoffed. "You might have a nice house now, but I'll never accept you." "I don't need your approval," Zena snapped. "I stopped needing it a long time ago." Then, without warning, Evelyn slapped her. "Mom," Zeke cried out, eyes wide. "Go to the kitchen, honey. Mommy's got this," Zena said gently. "How could you have kids after aborting the baby you and Nathan had?" Evelyn sneered. "What did you say?" Zena asked, stunned. "I told you I know everything. You ended your own pregnancy." "That's a lie!" Zena shouted, her hands curling into fists. A deep voice echoed from the doorway. "You did what?" Zena and Evelyn turned in shock. Nathan stood there, face pale with disbelief. "Dad!" Zia yelled as she entered the house with Zion, just in time to hear everything. "Zion, take your siblings to your room," Nathan instructed, his voice trembling with anger. For a moment, silence. Zena's body was shaking, her heart was racing. Evelyn pretended to cry and clung to Nathan's arm. "I'm sorry you had to find out this way, son." Zena glared at Nathan. "You're going to believe her? Again?" "I saw everything, Nathan," Evelyn cried. "She didn't want children. She ran away." "Liar!" Zena screamed. Nathan buried his face in his hands, clearly torn and confused, but he looked into Zena's eyes, and he saw it, the truth, the pain, the betrayal. "Get out of my house," Zena ordered. Nathan didn't stop her as she pushed both him and his mother toward the door. "You can cry all you want, Zena. But you did this," Evelyn hissed. "You don't know the pain I went through. And yet you dare to accuse me?" Zena cried. Nathan turned to speak, but Zena slammed the door in his face. Inside, she collapsed onto the couch, her breath shallow and ragged. Elsewhere, Nathan was pacing restlessly, haunted by everything he'd just heard. The next day, "Hey, Saron," he said as he walked into the hospital lounge. "Hey, man, get your head in the game. You're a doctor. Patients are complaining you're not focused." "I've got something on my mind," Nathan admitted. "It's Zena, isn't it?" Saron said knowingly. Nathan took a swig from the bottle Saron handed him and nodded. "I kept something for a long time," Saron said, handing Nathan a brown folder. "What's this?" Nathan asked, frowning. 5 years ago, I saw a woman about to give birth on the street. I helped her get to a clinic. I didn't know it was your wife. The doctor gave me her records later. I only opened them recently." Nathan's brows furrowed. He opened the folder. "When you asked me about the abortion, I got curious. That file has the real story. I hope it helps answer your questions." Nathan couldn't breathe. "She gave birth to triplets," he whispered. "Yes, I didn't know they were yours until recently," Saron replied. Nathan rushed to the clinic mentioned in the file. He questioned every nurse, but none of them knew where the children had gone. Later, his sister Angela confronted him. "What the hell are you doing with your life, Nathan?" Nathan didn't even look at her. "Just leave me alone, Angie." "Oh, come on. You're going to throw everything away again for that woman." Nathan stood up abruptly and jabbed his finger at her. "If I hear you insult Zena one more time, we're done." "She's worthless." "She's my wife. You're just my sister," he yelled and stormed out. Nathan had had enough. He began to tail Zena and the children from a distance, watching them play in the garden. He longed to approach them, but couldn't summon the courage. "Sir, it's raining," said Walden, his driver. "Should we leave?" Before Nathan could answer, Zia spotted him from across the street. "Dad!" she yelled, running toward him. "Zia, no!" But it was too late. A car came screeching down the road. "No!" they all screamed as Zia was hit. "Baby, please, stay with me!" Zena wailed, cradling her daughter's bloodied body. "Walden, hurry!" Nathan shouted, voice cracking with fear. "To Apex, now! If anything happens to Zia, I'll never forgive you," Zena sobbed. Nathan heard every word. Inside the hospital, Zena paced in front of the operating room, her mind spiraling with fear. "Please, Nathan, save our child," she whispered. "I'm sorry, Zena. I promise I'll do everything I can." Every minute outside the operating room felt like a year. Eventually, Zena ran to the chapel and knelt. "God, please, I'm begging you, don't take her. Not again. I can't bear to lose a child again." She was still crying when Nathan entered and knelt beside her. "She's okay," he whispered. Zena turned to him, eyes wide. "She's stable. She's going to be fine." Zena exhaled deeply, collapsing into his arms in relief. "One day—" "Sir, we've gathered everything you asked for," said the investigator, standing in front of Nathan. "What is it? Tell me everything," Nathan replied anxiously. "According to my sources, the triplets your wife gave birth to were never declared dead. Someone faked the records to make it appear that way." Nathan's face went pale, his hands trembled with rage. "Do you know who did it?" "Yes, sir. It was your mother, Mrs. Evelyn Claveria." Nathan's fists clenched. Without a word, he stormed into his mother's room, where she lay resting. He hadn't spoken to her for nearly a month after she barged into Zena's home and started the chaos. "How could you?" Nathan roared, flinging the door open. His mother jolted awake. "Nathan, where are the children? Where are our triplets, Mom? Tell me the truth," Nathan demanded, his voice cracking. Evelyn reached out to him, but Nathan stepped back, refusing her touch. "How could you destroy my family like this? How could you do this to your own grandchildren?" he shouted, his voice shaking with emotion. "I did it for you," she whispered. Nathan shook his head in disbelief. "You destroyed everything." "I was trying to protect you. You broke my heart. You ruined my life." "I'm sorry, Nathan. Please forgive me," she sobbed, falling to her knees. "You've committed too many sins, Mom. Too many." "Where are they?" Nathan demanded again. She looked up, trembling. "I forced Zena to leave. She wouldn't give up the babies, so after she gave birth, I ordered our old housekeeper, CDs, to take the babies away. I didn't care what she did with them, as long as you never found out." Nathan staggered back, stunned. "I told her to give them away, to sell them, throw them out, anything. I didn't care." "You did that to your own grandchildren?" he asked, horrified. Tears poured down Evelyn's face. "I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know what would happen. I just wanted to protect our name." "And what now?" Nathan asked coldly. "I just found out that CD's died. The children, they're the same triplets you've taken in now. Zion, Zia, and Zeke. They're your real children, yours and Zena's." Nathan felt like the ground had collapsed beneath him. "Zion, Zia, and Zeke. They're ours?" He covered his mouth with his hand, completely shaken. "I'm sorry, Nathan. Please, please ask Zena to forgive me." Nathan didn't answer. He turned and left, without another word. Outside, the rain poured down, but Nathan didn't care. He had to see them, Zena and the children, his family. It was late by the time he arrived at Zena's home. The image of Zia running into his arms played in his mind. "Dad!" Zion exclaimed as he saw him from the porch. Nathan's heart raced, but something wasn't right. "What are all these suitcases doing here?" Nathan asked, noticing the packed bags by the door. "Dad, Mom said we're leaving, going somewhere far from you," Zeke said quietly. What? Nathan asked, stepping inside. He saw Zina and Zia coming down the stairs, both looking heartbroken. Where are you going? Nathan asked, panic creeping into his voice. Away, far from you, far from the mess, Zina said firmly. You can't take them from me, Nathan said, voice rising. They're my kids too. You're not coming with us. It's just the four of us. Zina tossed some papers at his chest. Nathan caught them. What's this? I'm done fighting, Nathan. I'm tired, she said, tears threatening to fall. You're not leaving, Nathan said desperately. I'm going with you. No, you're not, she replied. He dropped to his knees. You can't go. They're our kids, Zina. They're the triplets, Zion, Zia, and Zeke. They're ours. What? Zina whispered, frozen in place. Nathan looked up at her, his face crumbling. They're our children. My investigator confirmed it. And my mother admitted everything. Zina stared at him, wide-eyed. You're not joking? Number, I swear on everything. I just found out. CDs gave them away like trash, and we found them. God brought them back to us. The triplets, listening nearby, gasped. You're our real mom and dad? Zia asked quietly. Nathan turned to them. Yes, sweetheart. You're our children. Zina and I. We're your real parents. Zina's hands flew to her mouth. She broke down crying. The three children ran into Nathan's arms, and he hugged them tight. Zina joined the embrace, her sobs mingling with the kids. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you, Nathan whispered. I didn't know. I didn't know anything. I'm so sorry. Zina couldn't speak, only cry. He kissed her forehead, holding her and the children close. I promise, I'll make up for everything, every second we lost. I swear after the revelation, Nathan did everything to prove his sincerity and restore their broken family. Zina knew. Anger had no more place in her heart. Life was fleeting. She chose to forgive, for love, for peace. But neither of them forced forgiveness on Evelyn. They decided she had to seek that on her own. One morning. Zion, Zeke, Zia, your dad is here. Hurry, Zina called from the stairs. Time passed quickly. The years flew by. There you are. You've been playing all morning. You know your dad's tired, Zina said, smiling as the children rushed in. Sorry, Mom, they giggled, hugging her and Nathan tightly. Hey, Mrs. Claveria, take it easy, Nathan joked, wrapping his arms around her and kissing her forehead. I'm sorry, honey. They're just saying sorry. He grinned, looking at the kids who burst into laughter. Years later, Nathan was still the same. Sweet, loving, and devoted. Their relationship grew stronger, battle-tested by life, bound by love. Lying in bed one evening, Nathan whispered, I love you, Zenaida. I love you so much. You, Zia, Zeke, and Zion. You're my calm after the storm. You're the surgeons of my soul. You fix me every day. He kissed her deeply, full of passion. Nathan Claveria was proud that the woman he loved had a heart that could forgive, a soul that could heal. And so, after many years, everything was forgiven. Everything became whole again. And this is where it all ends. The end. I hope you enjoyed this amazing story. This is your friend and narrator, Mr. Hope. Until we meet again, stay safe.